Brothers, one of the biggest surprises to the Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie was that Brie Larson was tapped to play Rosalina. Now, Rosalina is a very beloved and very popular character in the Mario universe and in the Smash Brothers universe. So, picking somebody as immediately unlikable as Brie Larson is an interesting choice. But I was a bit intrigued by it because I'm curious if Brie Larson is going to have her same combativeness, her same antagonism that she had, her same arrogance and vanity and wokeness and abrasive, toxic, personality in politics. I wonder if she's going to have that, or if this is going to be a moment where she humbles herself and she becomes likable. Wouldn't that be a very interesting turn of events if this Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie was ultimately what made people like Brie Larson? I don't think it's likely, but it is interesting because she has been exiled from Hollywood for so long. Brie Larson, you may know, she hasn't starred in anything in a long time. She's been doing indie projects. Now, the reason for that is going to be made evidently clear. I'm going to actually refer to my own video on this, where Brie Larson had bad chemistry with her co-stars. She was immediately unlikable with the audience. She espoused all of this woke diarrhea and ESG, DEI, far-left garbage, this progressive nonsense. And so it became immediately obvious that this is going to be somebody that's going to be a problem because nobody likes them. So let's give this a watch, and then I will give you my take on Brie Larson becoming Rosalina in the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie.
10 years, we keep kind of picking up where we left off, and we've, lifelong friends, hopefully.
Yeah.
Especially.
No, not with me though.
No, we're not gonna.
Well, I mean, I'd say
Hang
it's
out
just
anymore?
started and also
You're not gonna
probably
return
ended.
10 years.
Like,
we keep kind of
Brie Larson was just immediately unlikable. She had no chemistry with the other people on set. She was obnoxious and provocative. She would say things that would ultimately hurt the movie, and that was the smallest, literally the smallest taste that I could offer. In fact, maybe let me give you another tasting, an amuse-bouche, all right, of the Brie Larson that many people have come to know.
And one more question. What does it mean to be a woman in film?
It means it's really hard. And if you're a woman of color, then it's really, really hard.
Right.
So earlier this week, USC Annenberg's Inclusive Initiative released findings that 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males. Less than a quarter were white women, and less than 10% were unrepresented men. Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color.
So, yeah. So, I understand that to the furry community or the, retard demographic online, Blue Sky, like, well, what's the problem with that? I don't understand. What's the problem? Well, yes, you do. You're just being dishonest. But the fact is that is not the way that you bring people in. That's not the way that you ingratiate yourself, because that is tribal, racial, leftist politics. Why are you looking at somebody's race and gender to determine whether they're qualified to give a review? That is patently retarded and absurd. So, Brie Larson did herself no favors, not to mention the fact that her role as Captain Marvel was just immediately rejected by fans. Nobody was on board. And the fact is that we know that whole thing of Captain Marvel made $1 billion. We know that was bullshit. We know that was bullshit. I covered it at the time. There was a very, 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 very odd phenomenon where theaters were empty. Completely empty. I know I had it. I know that a lot of other people had it. Tyrone Magnus, Yellow Flash, a lot of people were reporting going to the theater and there was nobody there. So, I mean, that was a whole thing. And, you know, it's not uncommon for a studio to buy tickets in order to promote their own film. And including Ellen DeGeneres donated $10,000 to get people to go and see the low-income people to go see the film, which was hysterical, by the way, because, you know, if you're that low income, you're not going to be able to pay for the, you know, the trip to get there. They didn't offer like the full range of experience. They didn't offer any food. They just gave them tickets to go see Captain Marvel. Oh, great. That was just, oh man. Yeah, these vanity projects from these so-called rich people, it's insane. Like, I would have understood if it was like a full complete package where you go there and you get treated like a princess, you get treated like a hero, you get treated like, oh, you know, you can get, you know, any food you want and you get to go and we're going to send a limousine to pick you up. Like, I understand if it was something special, but they literally just bought tickets to the movie for themselves and called it charity. Anyway, Brie Larson being in this movie, I do think it has the potential to reboost and revitalize her career. But that is contingent on her behavior. So that's why I'm so interested. Will Brie Larson be the Brie Larson that we've all known? Or is this going to be a humble Brie Larson that looks at this as another opportunity? Something where she can actually come back and maybe try to rebrand and represent herself as somebody that isn't the obnoxious feminist from 2017. Use this as an opportunity, or she'll take... I see Jack Black has returned as Bowser. Yeah, I know somebody in the comments said, well, don't you know that Jack Black is 10 times woker than Brie Larson? Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I know that Brie Larson is pretty woke, but yes, I know that Jack Black is incredibly woke. I understand that he is a far-left progressive, and the fact is that he was on stage with his other half of Tenacious D when that guy said that he wished that the assassin had killed Donald Trump. However, to Jack Black's credit, he did apologize for that, and he did walk that back, and he did cancel the tour. So while Jack Black is incredibly woke, at least he's not in favor of the assassination of Donald Trump, which is more than I can say of a lot of these people on the left. The animation looks pretty good. That got me. I thought that was pretty funny. Mario was kind of mean, kind of mean, but you know, like I said, it should have just said, "Well, that looks like AI." That would have gotten all the real artists in the audience mad. Real artists and the people took a little bit of a disagreement. There are some people that don't understand what pattern recognition is. They don't get it. They're not cognizant of what pattern recognition is. Pattern recognition is when you see something familiar, similar, and it follows the same beats as something that came before, and in this case, multiple times. When you have a movie about Mario and Luigi, Mario and Luigi should be the star. And yet, in this, the star is Princess. So already you're pointing out the fact, I'm pointing out the fact that, yeah, it's girl bossification. It's, you know, Peach is a martial artist. She's a fighter now. And that ultimately diminishes Mario's role, because if she's like this kick-ass combat fighter, then what role do you have for Mario? Like, the point is, this wokeification of media, and it is. I know that some people may push back and say, well, I don't want to hear about woke. I don't give a shit what you want to hear about. It is woke. The wokeness isn't just, oh, it's the biggest thing in the world. No, it is the injection of this radical left-wing ideology, which definitely wants to break down gender roles and say, no, women can be the martial artists and men can be the catty nitpickers, which is exactly what happens here. Bowser Jr. Beats the shit out of Mario, and yet Peach and Rosalina are presented as these like unstoppable. Now, I don't care how much caterwailing you do over that. It is noticeable And it makes you wonder, what is the point of Mario and Luigi when you basically taken their role and given it to a bunch of women because you think that that's the progressive thing to do? No, it's obnoxious. Some people say, well, you haven't seen the movie yet. How long have I been doing this? How long have you been watching movies? Do you not know how to spot patterns? Do you not know how to spot these things? It's obvious. When you have a movie that prioritizes female characters, they did this with Witcher. Like, how many more examples do I need to make of this? In the Witcher series, Geralt was supposed to be the main character. What did they do? They sidelined him in his own show to emphasize female characters. They're the most important. And of course, there are excuses made by these degenerate freaks, these disgusting, oozing pustules of humanity. But at the end of the day, it's obvious, it's wrong, and I'll continue to call it out whether you like it or not. It's obnoxious. What's wrong with Princess Peach the way that she was in the games? Nothing. But now they try to make her the hero, and they try to make her the princess, and they try to make her both things. Meanwhile, Mario has to look like an idiot. He has to get beaten. He has to be the one that gets put down, but it's his movie, or at least it should be. Him and Luigi. The Super Mario Brothers. It's not called the Super Peach Sisters. Anyway, that's my point. We can go on and on about it, but I've had a lot of different comments in the comment section. Never mind the fact the real main characters are shown to have Dollhouse in their place and Bowser acting like a flaming fairy. Peach was annoying as fuck in the first movie. Looks like it could just be a cover in one of those women's romance novels. That's true. The Bowser thing is pretty funny. That does look like it could be in a romance novel. The movie's not even out yet. It's retarded. That's low IQ. Remember the animators behind it. The ones that made this movie also made movies like Hop. Okay. Wow, a woke movie in 2025. What a surprise. In all seriousness, why the fuck is every movie woke? I just want a normal movie. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people don't want this sort of like feminist rot gut brain rot garbage. They just don't. And even if the movie hits a lot of other strides correctly and does a lot of things really well, it doesn't change the fact that you are still inputting something that shouldn't be there. It just shouldn't. The only one that is in favor of that are people that are traditionally untraditional. Yeah, people that are interested in deviant and degenerate things, and they think that somehow that makes them forward thinking or progressive, and that's why they are for it. But it makes no sense. It really does. Imagine if Mario was presented as an efficient combatant in his own film, since without efficiency, he would never have defeated. Without efficiency, he would never have defeated DK, Bowser, Wario, or Tatonga in single combat. A Mario movie shouldn't go out of its way to undermine Mario. But only the 85 film got this lesson down. And Mario didn't even win Peach's love in the film. Well, Mario never wins Peach's love, really. Yeah, that's not new. Modern movies just can't help make strong women that... Modern movies just can't make strong women that feel believable. I can't believe someone like Wonder Woman or most of the other female superheroes fighting bad guys or monsters. And if you want a strong female character like Sarah Connor from Terminator 2, not the fake Sarah Connor from the new one, she does what she can to prepare for her son in the future. But when she sees the Arnie Terminator again during her escape, she breaks as any normally. That's true. Yeah, that was a great scene when she's fighting and she's like beating everyone up, and then she sees Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, and yeah, she panics. Yeah, we've seen some pretty interesting comments. Again, they can't find actual voice actors. This is true. Yeah, wait until it's AI. Poe's Law is real. Yeah, true. I wouldn't be surprised if the outrage of the fans makes them change the whole film. I don't know. I don't know if they change film. I love you, Templar, but I think you're reaching a bit. I hate the woke shit as much as you, but Peach doing all this fighting doesn't mean Mario and Luigi will not do fighting at all. Listen, people want to say, well, it's just a trailer. It's just a trailer. Yeah, a trailer is what they use to represent the movie. A trailer is the appetizer. It's what they serve you to get you ready for the main course. And if the first thing that they show you in a trailer is a majority of the film being girl boss, badass, I'm going to fight you, I'm going to beat you up, it is something that's observable, it's noticeable, and I don't like it. So I'm going to comment on it. And you know what? That's the beauty of the internet. There will be a lot of people who think there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. Women can serve just as effectively in combat roles. No problem. And they'll make a video about that. But you know what the funny thing is? They will get more upset at my opinion while putting out their own. They'll get more upset about that than anything. They'll get visibly angry because I'm articulating my incredibly normal opinion about the fact that it is weird that you go out of your way to make a majority of a trailer about Super Mario Bros. Galaxy about Peach and Rosalina. Now, you could have done it where you did it like a storybook, like they did in the actual game, but Rosalina is not a fighter. Unless this is Smash Brothers. But this is like what they're trying to do. They're trying to present Peach as a combat fighter because they don't feel that Peach, as she's been, is enough. They think that that's demeaning to women. That's demeaning to Peach. Even though the way that she was, Princess Peach, you know, she's gonna bake Mario a pie or whatever, bake him a cake. That Peach, that's not good enough. We got to change her. We got to make her more masculine. We got to make her a combat specialist. It's fucking pathetic. It really is. The whole mentality behind it is pathetic, and I will never stop calling that out. Anyway, brothers, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel, and we'll see you next time.